Hi guys, I got something exciting for you today. The new Taurus 66 Combat 3-inch 7-shot 357 Magnum French tapered barrel fiber optic front sight, unfluted cylinder, concealed hammer, and a very nice tuned action. So let's get going, guys. I'm your Huckleberry. Remember when men were men? 357 Magnum, when men were men. We got the new Taurus 66 Combat next to the Taurus 692 multi-caliber. Boy, has that thing been popular. All my videos on that. The Rossi RP63, and my backup, always rule number one gun, the Taurus 856 Ultralight. That's in my pocket all the time. Now, the Rossi's great, but for full power Magnums, you really want something a little bit heavier. This is more the trying to find a good defensive light or mid Magnum load kind of gun. 692's been awesome. This is a little bit lighter, so I wanted to show you the size comparison. It's sort of similar to the 692. To me, it looks like the top strap is a little bit thicker, and it actually weighs less, at least with the wood grips on this. It does weigh less and is unported, so it will get more velocity. Hi everybody, if you're not familiar with me, my name is Dan the Wolfman. That's from my MMA days when I fought pro and traveled around the world training with all the world's best MMA fighters. Also, when men were men. And when men were men in the 70s and 80s, they carried 357 Magnums. They'd be lucky if they had something like this, a detective to have a 3-inch 7-shot tuned action 357 like this Taurus 66 Combat. You know, guys like Harry Callahan, Paul Kersey, Starsky and Hutch, I think they would have appreciated this. And guys, we could be manly, do push-ups and work, and carry manly. Again, it doesn't have to be that plastic Nazi caliber. You can do something a little bit better. 5-star speed loaders. I like to carry AS on my right side in a split 6, and 5-star on the left side in a Don Hume. We're using Don Hume holsters today. It's about an L frame, I think. I don't have a 686, but it's about an L frame. Now, I actually got it to fit in my Don Hume outside waistband K-frame, which I'm using right now. I'll use the inside waistband holster for the Gp100 that it actually fits in a little bit later. I haven't done any draws from that today. So that's the kind of gear you want. Or throw in a pocket one of these Zeta 6 K-Pack 2s. So you can put 7 in them for the 7-shot revolver and just top off 3 and then 3 and close it, and you're ready to go pretty fast. Or that last one if you want to. But it would be a pretty fast way of reloading if you're not going to carry speed loaders, the K-Pack 2 for this particular awesome carrier revolver. Protect you in the woods or the hoods from mild to wild. I got all the ammo. We got the last 7 rounds of PPU 130 grain FMJ, 158 grain lead Hollowpoints. We got Blazer 158 plus P. We got Precision 1 357 Magnum 125 grain. I got PPU Hollowpoints 158 grain. And then at the end of it, we do like really hot defensive, pay some dollar bills, 38 plus P and 357 Magnum defensive loads. Here we go. Nice fiber optic front, but it is replaceable. You could put the 856 Access night sight in there or their new gold bead if you wanted to, which is great. And I almost forgot, it's drilled hill for a red dot. You could put a plate in an RMSC SC red dot, though then my holsters wouldn't work. So we'll see if I'm going to do that or not to have some cool futuristic fun. Let go! Seven shots is awfully nice. This is a full length extractor that you get from a 3-inch that you usually don't get from a 2.5-inch, as well as the better Ballistics 357 shines from a 3-inch. Like, it's kind of made for a 4-inch, but you're only like 7% less, where from a 2-inch it's really not worth the recoil, quite frankly. Last shot might have went a little bit high. Let's see how I did. Yeah, so just a little bit. 3 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and less headshot, just a little bit high. I forgot fiber optic equal height equal light. I kind of put it a little bit over, but defensively, bad guy down. One thing I really like about 7-shot revolvers is that I feel like I can take care of 3 bad guys. Okay, because I can shoot 2, 2, 2, and I got 1 left over for whoever needs it or for my retreat. 7 actually does make me feel a lot more comfortable than 6 or 5. Statistically, it's 17%, I think, more than 6. So I really like being able to go 2, 2, 2 and retreat with 1, fire that 1, and then go to my backup gun, like my A56 Ultralight in my pocket right now, is the way to roll with revolvers, baby. And this is the perfect packing revolver. The other good thing about 357 Magnums is you can go wild to mild for what you want to do on the range. Let's put a 158 lead Hollowpoint PPU. Let's do 2 of these Blazer 38 plus Ps. Then let's do 225 grain precision 1. This is pretty hot stuff, but it's handling the recoil really fine. Those probably actually recoil, we'll see, more than these PPU defensive Hollowpoints. Gun Sam's tested. While I live in the South and that's not what I would carry in it, if you live Northwest and you were equally worried about 2-legged and 4-legged, that's what 357 Magnum, a cheap round like that, can do. Now, there's a lot of penetration, but not like brown bear, black bears, moose, you know, and humans, but you're mostly worried about humans. That'd be a pretty good load. And of course, you can go to like 180 grain hard cast for real bear moose defense, since everyone talks about bear defense. I'm going to try to give you that recoil look right now. Well, 158s had a little bit on them. Yeah, they did actually. And I wanted to shoot the guy in his gun and face. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, touching 5, 6, 7, with all those different covered by a hand. And of course, one benefit of a revolver is shooting up close and personal or from retention, high pectoral index, pushing against somebody, it doesn't go out of battery. And I'll show that here. Now, look up. 7 shots is pretty cool. And all my shots but 1 were pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my headshot. 5, 6. That's pretty good. 1 down there is not great, just in his arm. Maybe then going into his left lung with the weight that heavier bullets have. This thing's awesome. Very smooth trigger. Very stageable. I'll try to remember to do that. We got 2 rapscallions down range. I always like to be prepared for 3. Again, 7, 2, 2, 2. Or transition back. Keep 1 for yourself. In the Clint Eastwood movie Bloodwork, I watched last night, in both his gunfights in the movie, I mean the 2 main gunfights in the movie, he used 7 shots from his revolver. 7 makes me feel a lot more comfortable than just 5 or 6. 3-inch 357 Magnum Ballistics, certainly a lot more man-stopping power that was legendary than 38 with a 1 7/8 barrel. A lot more shootable, a little bit heavier. This is a really good weight because I can control magnums, but I can still carry it. Okay, gonna try from appendix. Hey guys, I don't want any trouble. Look up! Last shot might have went high. He reanimated. That's why I like 1 in order to retreat. You're more likely to be able to do that. Let's see how I did. All right, look at these awesome targets from Targets Online. Go check them out for your target needs. Train realistically. Dead center through the heart and spine. He'd already be down no matter what ammo I was using, quite frankly. And in the left lung, good headshot there in the cranial vault. Gonna shove it down that spine. All that pressure here, not so good on this channel. And not happy about this, but I didn't have a good draw. So I kept going even though I didn't have a good draw. It's kind of, haven't done a lot from appendix today. I typically would carry a revolver this big, outside waistband, wintertime, throw open your jacket kind of thing. Left lung, good headshot, a miss. And then he reanimated, but he moved. There's my headshot. Very nice trigger. And it's setting off all those different ammo, including PPU. I got 2 38 plus Ps. Then we got 225 grain precision 1. That's I'm in the South, so I would carry with 125 to 145 grain mid to maybe even full power magnums. We'll find out at the end of the video or not. And 158s, like I said, if you were in the Northwest, maybe something like that. Okay, so here we go. Whoa. Ooh, yeah, baby. Magnum force. Got one there in the heart, one there in the lung. Transition over here, Magnum power, 125s, severing his spine. He'd drop immediately. And his long good shots there. Coming back to, I mean, keep in mind all these transitions. Nice eyeball headshot there. Nice eyeball brainstem center mass there. And then he came back, reanimated 10 ring there with full bore 158. Done a lot of ballistics testing with 357 Magnum, including my first few, where from a 3-inch barrel, I used 4-layer denim plus 2-layer t-shirt behind. And that's what 357 Magnum's good at, going through multiple layers of clothing in the wintertime and still expanding. That 3-inch barrel ballistics is what's famous. It's what the FBI used in their M13s. It's what the Postal Service used in their GS33s. This has a tapered barrel that looks beautiful, just like it. So the 3-inch ballistics that it can give you as a winter and a woods carry with all the various ammo. So I've done a lot of ballistics testing. Also, my friend Gun Sam does tons and tons of ballistic testing. And again, a 3-inch is going to give you about the same performance as a 4-inch. And way better than a 2-inch. It's way closer to 4-inch ballistics, so you'd get a little less expansion, a little more penetration with a 3-inch, and a lot of loads. That's not a bad thing. My video of the man-stopping rounds using the Federal 125 grain semi-jacketed Hollowpoint versus the Fiocchi Defense Dynamics, you can really see with defensive Hollowpoints 38 plus P as well, 120 plus P Federal punch, which is one of the top rounds you can use. Look at my ballistics test of the punch. And then we'll finish up with some old FBI load, 158 plus P, 38 Gs, the famous FBI load. And I did test this as well. And that's what's great about a revolver. Alright guys, I'm going to attempt to get it on splits, see how I do it. I haven't used splits yet today. We'll see how it is with other person firing. We got 3 of the Remington 125 grain semi-jacketed Hollowpoint plus P, 120 plus P punch, 2 of those, and then finishing with 2 of the FBI loads, Federal 38G. It's pretty stout stuff. And probably a slow draw. This holster keeps it very tight to my body, so good for concealment. Probably is slower on the draw than another holster I use in other videos. We'll see. I'm thinking this bad boy could be my winter carry. You carry a speed loader, a speed strip, something like that in the pockets, the K-Pack 2s. And I always got my New York reload would be my 856 Ultralight, which has been awesome. And both you can change the front sights to access sights. Dan the Wolfman, access sights. As expected, a slow draw on my shirt. I should have tucked it in before I did the run. I knew it. It's excuses. With plus P's, 30 split, 36 split, 32 split, 34 split, 34 split, 36 split for 422 for a Bill Joe plus 1, because I got 7 babies. So that was 7 expensive rounds that you're going to make a like, a thumbs up, a subscription, a notification bell, all that stuff too. Just so we can compare 38 plus P defensive loads to, which is like nothing in this, it handles recoil really well, to Magnum loads of various power. So 422, starting at 220 though, it was slow, but 30 to 36 splits. I suppose I should show the hits, 1 in the heart, and then I danced around his lungs, lung, in the spine, lung. So 3 in his left lung, 2 in his right lung, heart, and spine. So, yeah, I handled my business at 7 yards with this very awesome Combat 66. All right, next up, let's do it with light magnums. These are Atlanta Arms with XTP 125 grain. Pretty slow velocity, but still actually expanded when I sent them to my friend Gun Sam. You might want to check that out. But here's what a light magnum might do, depending on your recoil controllability, but this can handle hot stuff too. And other than my friend Nightwood Guns, I don't think anyone else has really ran this hard like I'm doing today, and with defensive Hollowpoints and stuff like that. So here we go with the light magnums. Last one was a little low, I think. I lost the recoil control a little bit. Nice ejection, full length ejector rods. That was with Magnum ammo. So a little faster draw. I want to be faster. I always want to be 175. This holds it a little tight to my body, but it's doable for better concealment. I could use the other one as well. 186 to first shot, 36, 38, 38, 34, 38, 36. So instead of 30 to 36 with 38 plus P, with light magnums, and XTP is surprisingly, and even Gunsam hand-loaded XTP is even lower than this, still expanded. I wish more light magnums were available for defensive use, but 36 to 38 splits, 34 to 38 splits in there at 406 for 7 shots. A Bilger +1 with a 7-shot magnum. 3 in the heart, 1, 2, 3, 3 in the heart. Those two are right next to each other. That's pretty awesome. 3 in the heart, 2 in the lungs, bottom of the lung, naked, that counts. And 1, 2 on the spine, and that last shot, I lost it a little bit on that last shot. I think that's just me. I called it. I dipped too low as I was rolling through the very smooth trigger. Damn, I feel manly. This thing's awesome. 357 Magnum, where men. We got 2 Fiocchi defense. These are light to mid-power magnums. It's not nearly as hot as it says on the box. Then we got Federal Train It and Protect 125 grain semi-jacketed hollow point. This is just a tad lighter, but still like really full power than the original loading. And I got the same exact results in water jugs correlated to FBI organic gel from 1990. This is the famous man-stopping load. Little light on penetration, but boy, it dropped dirt bags really well. And then we'll put 2 of the PPU 158s at the end for this grand finale to see how they do, starting up with the Fiocchi defense dynamics. All right, put up or shut up time. If it can handle the really hot Federal, we'll see. But for most people, mid-power rounds, critical defense, critical duty, covert X, maybe. I wish there was more. Golden Saber, but ballistically, it's meh. But if I can use Federal, Winchester, some of the old, like, classic man-stopping loads, plus that flash bang effect at night, and just the pressure and the noise, I think, psychologically, hits a bad guy. Plus, there's EKE, which is how much energy in the first 15 centimeters, E15, 5.9 inches, the tissue tears. Handgun hunters, people who have shot deer, is a big difference between 357, just 200 or 300 feet per second, versus 9mm. So 7 shots, 357 Magnum, I'd be feeling pretty protected. I'm going to make this, until they make me send it back, I'm going to make this one of my winter carry. I feel okay with this and my 856 ultralight, and I'll probably carry 1 speed loader, and I always carry 1 speed strip. Or if I got a jacket on, then it's very easy to throw the K-Pack 2s in a pocket. So anyway, shut up, put up, or shut up. Hooah! Here we go, baby. Ooh, caused a lot of echo, so it's either 418 or 420, which isn't much slower with basically the same draw time as the light Magnum runs. 34, 38, 36, or another way I got it. This isn't a professional timer. We're all 36s, so either 336s, 188 a first shot, 34, 38, 36, or 36, 36, 36. We're already into the Federal at that point. 42, 40, 40 at the end. 42, 40, 40 at the end. So 34 to 42. So 34 to 42 splits with really hot defensive ammo. I'm okay. I mean, if that was a defensive gun use, we'll see the hits though. 7 yards pretty far. Now, who's going to shoot 7 full power right in a row? I could do better, but I'm not Caleb Giddings. I'm not Jerry Michalik. 1 right there on the spine, so that's high enough. That probably would drop them like a sack of potatoes right there. CNS is how you stop people. Here, I'm sure the flashbang grenade going off in his face, though, probably make the rest of the bad guys run. Spine, lung, spine, then 2 on the outer layers of the lung. I'm usually better than that. Not happy about that. These last 3 are probably midway through the Federal 125s. I started to lose it. 125, 158, 158. So I started to lose it at the end, I think. But how likely are you to do that instead of 3 and 3 or 2, 2 and 2 and retransition with the multiple attacker drills we did earlier? But honestly, that's not too bad. With the 38 plus Ps with a really crappy draw, like half a second, 4.22 with 30 to 36 splits with hot defensive plus P loads. With light magnums, 4.06, faster draw to like 186 or something, 34 to 38 splits. That's not bad with light magnums, which a lot of people would carry it with. Hot magnums, if you want to or you needed to for animal defense purposes, 36 to 42. That's really surprising to me. I'm usually in the 54-ish range. So I don't know what the magic is there, because it's later than 686 plus. It's later than the 692. It's later, definitely way later than the GP100. Again, I'm getting 32.6 ounces, not the 36.5. I think that's for the 4-inch regular with that people are quoting in the other videos. At least my scale, I know, even if my scale's off a little bit, I know it's lighter by a good bit than the others, so I can actually carry this in the winter or for woods defense. But it actually is a very stageable trigger to make maybe like the precise shots there, even though I made it in the 10 ring anyway. Damn, that's a very light trigger. And it set everything off, all this different ammo. So unlike other YouTubers putting into music and stuff, I ran it hard, I ran all kinds of different ammo. Everything went bang, even though like it has smoothed out so much. It was like maybe 8 to 9 pounds to begin. I feel like I have a 7.5 pound world's most perfect double action trigger pull that's still setting off some European primers. I don't know what magic they did. Maybe it's because it's particularly the 66. Caleb said something about the way the hammer spring is, so it doesn't like stack and get heavier at the end. And that makes it more stageable too. Like, this thing is friggin' awesome. So let's be manly again. Not everybody has to carry a plastic 9. Now, I carry my GX4 carry more than any other firearm, and I have all kinds, and more expensive, and all that. But boy, going through multiple layers and still expanding. I've tested 154 HSTs and Hydroshock, like heavier stuff too. Still expanding through 6, 7, 8 layers of clothes. That's what you get with a Magnum that you don't necessarily get with a 9mm. You know, so all my Tauruses have been good, guys. I've been really, really good. I got a 9.42 22 long rifle. I got 2 Rossi RP63s. I got the 8.56 Ultralight, the always backup gun. I got the 6.92. I've held up great for 6 years. And now the 66 Combat. I've shot a lot of expensive ammo today, so please thumbs up, share, subscribe. Get down in the comment section, grow out a mustache, get Magnum power, feel manly again. 357 Magnum, when men were men. Thanks, everybody, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Kaboom.